Welcome to CFF-TV. I'm Matt Monero, founder and president of Commercial Fleet here in Dallas, Texas. What is going on with interest rates? How come everywhere we turn, every business channel we turn on, everyone's talking about rising interest rates? And certainly here every day at Commercial Fleet, and in your world of buying equipment for your fleet, you're experiencing it as well. So we wanted to take a minute and record a quick video on CFF-TV to talk about why are interest rates continuing to rise? What's the reason for it? What does it look like? What's the actual economic impact for you as a client? And then I always throw in action steps. I mean, I'm an action guy. How do we take action to combat these rising interest rates? So at the end of today's video, I got 7 action steps that we can take. So let's get into it. We'll throw these slides up on the screen so everybody can follow me. But it's important to understand why interest rates are continuing to rise. Inflation is the reason for it, right? We have an 8% plus inflation rate. It means the cost of everything continues to go up, and in an effort to slow down inflation and eventually bring it down, the Federal Reserve raises the cost of money. The idea is if money becomes more expensive, demand will slow down, therefore inflation will slow down, and eventually we can get this thing normalized. The Fed has been crystal clear that they want to have the cost of money about the same as the inflation rate. So a normal inflation rate is somewhere between 2 and 3%. But in order to bring the inflation from 8 down to 2 and 3, the interest rate has to continue to move higher, and eventually we can get a normaling of the inflation rate and the cost of money. We are not there yet. We're still trying to figure it out. The Fed is still trying to figure it out. And so far in 2022, the Fed has raised rates 5 times. And the Fed has already come out and said that they're going to raise rates 2 more times. The Fed will meet in November and the Fed will meet in December. They've already said the November meeting, they will have a 0.75% rate increase. And it is expected that in the December meeting, they will have at least a 0.5% increase. So what does that mean? It means interest rates are going to go up at least another 1.25%. Now let's correlate this into the equipment financing world so we can both talk the same language. If you want to buy a piece of equipment and borrow money from Commercial Fleet for it, that interest rate continues to rise. And it isn't rising slowly. It's rising at a faster rate than I have ever experienced in 27 years of owning Commercial Fleet. I've never seen rates jump like this. So if you take a look at the next slide, you'll see the graph of what 5-year Treasury rates have looked like in 2022. When we started this year, 5-year Treasury rates were 1.35%. And as of October 28, they are 4.19%. 2.89% increase in less than 12 months. Now, what does that translate to a borrowing world? In other words, how much extra are you paying? Are we having to charge to finance a piece of equipment? Let's take a look. The example I'm using is on a $150,000 truck for a 60-month, a 5-year term with a 0 down payment. And if you look at Q1, so the first 3 months of 2022, we had an interest rate average of around 6% to the customer. That drove a monthly payment of $2,899. Total payments to borrow $150,000 over a 5-year period of time at a 6% rate, you would pay back $173,995 with a total interest charge of $23,995. That's what it would have cost you in Q1. Today, Q4 2022, that 6% rate is now a 9.5% rate. The monthly payment is $3,150. The total payments are now $100,089,016 for interest rate charges of $39,016. So if you take the total interest charges of $39,000 and you subtract out the previous 6% interest charges of, call it $24,000, you're now paying the difference. That delta is the cost of borrowing. It's a big jump. It's not an additional profit center for commercial fleet. The cost of the product, the cost of the money has gone up. And in order for anyone to absorb it, it has to be passed on to the customer. It's the exact same thing that needs to be done in your business. When you have an 8% inflation rate, everything that you're involved with in your business has gone up, and therefore you have to pass those costs on as well. The question you need to be asking, the question I want to bring up to you today is, when do you buy? The time to buy on the cheap is over. The good news is truck prices are starting to come down. The good news is the Fed has already told us that they're going to raise rates at least another 1.25%. Therefore, you need to buy. You already know that the truck price is coming down. That offsets a little the impact of the increase in the interest, and that you know that interest rates are going up because the Fed has all told us, everyone, that they're going to continue to raise interest rates until inflation comes down. And they have said at least another 1.25% just this year alone. I would expect at least another half a point, maybe 3/4 point in Q1 2023. That drives almost a 2% interest rate increase still yet to come. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like. If we go to the next slide, $150,000, you can see what Q1 looked like. You can see what Q2 looks like. And here is my projection for what Q1 2023 is going to look like. If interest rates go up another 1.5 points, 1.75, maybe 2 points, it's going to drive the cost of borrowing to 11%. 11% is going to take your monthly payment to $3,261. Total interest charges are going to be $195,681. Total payments, rather. And total interest charges are going to be $45,681. It's going to be another $6,000. There's no reason to wait. That's the point. If you know the interest rate is going up, and the Fed has already told us that, then the only thing you know, all of us know, is the cost to do business is going to go up. So if we knew that there was a sale, a discount available today, and that if we bought today, we knew it would be more expensive in the future, today is the right time to buy. That's the message I'm trying to get across today. If you had waited in Q1 and you didn't buy until Q4, it's cost you an extra $250 a month. It's cost you an extra $39,000 to 24 is 6 and 9. It's cost you an extra $15,000. Let's not make that mistake again. If you're in the market to buy and you believe you have the business and the demand and it's the right decision for your business, now in Q4 is the time to pull the trigger. Now, I promise that, I'm an action step guy. I love data. I love information, but I don't like any of it unless we have an action step or a plan to put it into place. So here are 7 steps that we're talking to our company about that might benefit your company today. Number 1 of the 7 action steps to help you fight against a recession. Don't take part in the recession. Just simply draw the line in the sand and say, our company isn't going backwards, we're going forwards. So even if it's a little harder to go forwards today because we're in a slowing economy and a more expensive inflationary environment, we will not take part in the recession. Our company is not going backwards, we're going forwards. Number 2, plan on working harder. That's the way it goes. You have to turn over more rocks. You have to find more opportunity. You have to find new programs. You have to find new ways to make it. And if it means that, you haven't been working as hard as you had in the early days, you got to recommit and you got to plan on working harder in a recession. Number 3, I'm a huge mindset guy. Number 3 is work on your mind. I'm going to ask you a question. Who are you watching? Who are you listening to? Who are you reading? Who are you getting your information from, right? Please tell me you're still working on building your business and you want to go to another level. And in order to do that, we as individuals have to improve. We have to mature. We have to get better. So I challenge you in a slowing economy, who you watching? Who you reading? Who you listening to? Number 4, compartmentalize all this worry and potential fear through goal setting. Set daily action goals. Wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to achieve this. And when I achieve this, I'm going to turn the spigot off. And I'm going to go home and I'm going to be a good husband. I'm going to be a good father. I'm going to be a good wife. I'm going to be a good spouse. I'm going to be a good significant other. I'm going to be a good neighbor. I'm going to be a good employer. And I'm not going to be consumed with what the media wants us to believe is the world coming to an end. The world is not coming to an end. I've been in business 27 years. We've been through 4 recessionary cycles, and we came out okay. The world kept spinning on the axis. Ice cream was still delivered to the stores and available in the freezers. The world is not going to come to an end. It's not going to crash. It's not going to be Armageddon. We're all going to be okay. So in order to really benefit from that truth, which I know is true, compartmentalize your day through goal setting, through a recession. Figure out what you want to achieve, go into the marketplace and achieve it, and then close it down for the night and go be great doing something else too. Next, number 5, be financially sound. Don't make silly decisions. Don't buy stuff you don't need. Tighten the belt just a little bit. Be cautious about some of the things. But one thing that is true when I say be financially sound, most people think it means cut all spending. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is be financially sound. Make smart business decisions. If it makes financial sense to buy a new piece of equipment, buy it now. If it makes sense to go buy your own building, buy it now. If it makes sense to buy out a competitor, go buy it now. Be financially sound. Number 6, stay off media. The media sells fear. The news channels are not here to make us as business owners feel good. They are to scare us. So stop watching some of that silliness. Stop watching Fox, or stop watching CNN, or stop watching CNBC, or stop watching and I don't even know the other name of the stuff, whatever those channels are, because I don't watch them anymore. Because they never make me feel good when I watch them. They make me feel really worried. And when I get worried, I put more pressure on my business. I put more pressure on myself. I put more pressure on my spouse. I put more pressure on my kids. I put more pressure on everything. That's how they want us to behave. The way we should behave in a recessionary economic slowdown is to keep moving forward, to compartmentalize our worry, and then find lots of other reasons to still stay happy with who we are, what we've achieved, and where we're going. And the last one is a true business step. In a recessionary slowdown, economic slowdown, recessionary cycle, we have to build stronger client relationships. We have to go out and see our clients more. We need to knock on more doors. We need to talk to more people, and we need to ask for the business. Right? When times are so good and the phone's ringing off the hook, we don't do that. And then sometimes when we have to do it to pay the bills, it feels very disingenuous, right? It feels like, I know I didn't care about you when things were good, but now that things aren't so good, I really need you. You got to need your clients throughout the entire process. So build stronger client relationships. If you're finding freight on load boards right now, go try and build direct customer relationships. So you're not victim to the load boards. You actually have a contract with a customer who appreciates you, who stabilizes your revenue, who levels out your expenses, who guarantees you a portion of profit every month. Go build stronger relationships. I've been through 4 economic slowdowns, recessions. In 27 years in business, we've survived them all. You will survive too. Some people who are just on the ship watching it crash on the shore won't. But those of us who see it, those of us who take action, those of us who are financially sound, we make good, smart business decisions, those of us that take good care of our clients, and we keep moving forward, and we don't let our brains get caught in the fear that the media tries to constantly push on us, we will prevail. And you will prevail. That's the state of interest rates as we see it at Commercial Fleet. I hope this was helpful. If it was, hit the like button, subscribe, give our office a call, hit us up on the web at commercialfleetfinancing.com. We'd love to hear from you. and we'll see you down the road.